Welcome to the Coach's Corner. We're joined now by Benilde-St. Margaret's Red Knights head football coach John Hanks, fresh off a 14-0 win over the Orono Spartans out at Orono High School, and it was a game that was a defensive tussle. No score in the first half. Finally, at 7:05 of the third quarter, Tommy Anderson completes his first of two touchdown passes to Henry Wolf. The first one for 35 yards, and then the second one for 8 yards with 3 minutes and 36 seconds left in the third quarter. That would be all the scoring. And, John Hanks, if you get down to the fact of the matter, if you would have told me that these two teams would be held to a combined, what was it, about 68 yards, 67 yards rushing combined, would you have taken that? Would you have been surprised?
I think everybody in Minnesota's going, what in the world was going on Friday night at Orono?
Yeah, totally. Well, it's the first thing you look at. It just jumps out at you. So your club had 20 carries for 8 yards, and they only had 59 yards and 26 carries. But you were able to really get the passing game going, led by Tommy Anderson, who was 6 of 8 for 166 yards. He had a pair of touchdowns, and he was picked off. But Tino and Nick Peterson also were rolling along, too. So you really split out the quarterback duties. Can you talk on that a little bit?
Well, we started Nick, and Nick, he had little struggles, and he's younger. He's a sophomore, and we're just trying to see how he handles, situations. And I think it was a little much for him. Arnold's pretty bright. They came at him with about 7 or 8 guys in the box, and they were just coming from the edge. They were coming from the middle. They were putting 7, 8 right at the line of scrimmage. I mean, they're making it very difficult for him, and he wasn't solid checking into any pass plays that we can check down to, and we just ran into some struggles in the first half, and we let him play for a while to kind of see what he'd do, how he'd react, and it was just tough. So we went to Tino, and Tino kind of came in, and he got things going in the right direction. He made some really great throws, made some good decisions, and kind of moved us down the field, and we stubbed our toe and we didn't get in. But second half we brought Tommy in, and he's really good, and to look at him, you think he's kind of a copycat of Alex Houlihan from last year. He's just can play any position. He's versatile. He's a great athlete, and he just has good leadership skills for a kid that doesn't say much. He's very good at leading the squad.
Well, so then that leads to the question. You don't have to, obviously, you're not going to. You're going to say what you want to say, but what is your thoughts moving forward at the quarterback position? Then, what are you thinking?
Well, I think most of us, after watching film with the staff, we all came to the conclusion. I think Tommy, is definitely the guy. And Tino did a wonderful job too, so I don't think we had any heartburn there. Tommy did start at corner for us, so having 3 quarterbacks gives us the option to use the other 2 for that matter. And Nick is just going to have to catch up. He's going to have to get up to speed and just have a little more confidence. And he's new to our school, and everything's just new to him, so he's just got to kind of get comfortable. I don't think he's comfortable yet. So
you had 3 receivers that caught 4 footballs on Friday night: Turner Wine, Henry Wolf, and John Landry. Did I say Turner's last name correct?
Yeah, Turner Wine. Turner had a great game. He caught a couple of long balls, and for a kid that was banged up, he did a really nice job just getting downfield and using that tall body he's got to make catches. So.
Well, let's get to the other side of the football real quick. I mean, you had a couple of guys that were really impressive. I kind I'm sorry, can you help me with his last name? I'm going to put you on the spot. Ujuagu. I'll never forget it the rest of it. Ikena Uguaju had 9 tackles. He also had a sack. Also joining him with the exact same numbers was John Whitmore. So those two were bookends leading the way. Clyde Selke had himself a nice football game. Gabe Jackson did too. Talk about the strengths that you saw of your defense and what you're most happy with.
I think just they're grasping, the concepts we're trying to do on defense, and they're just doing their responsibility, and they're not trying to do too much. They're having a lot of faith in, and their teammates are going to do their part too. So that's what makes us, I think, really good, is that they have a lot of experience. Some of them, this is their 3rd year playing on defense for varsity, so they've got a lot of experience, and they know what they're doing. So I just don't want to screw it up. It's all good.
You know what? I don't think you're capable of that. So you're more than good. So you're saying just get out of the way, right?
Well, it's we've pushed them with a lot of concepts, whether it's coverage or some of the things we're doing. Makes them have to recognize formation and get themselves in the right position, and then, read your keys and react. And that's what's kind of fun to watch them be able to handle some difficult concepts and then put it. As a coach, it's just fun to see them execute it and just do it really well.
Well, and when you look to last year, I'm not saying that this is what happened, but I think, the mindset could be, you could kind of make a mistake or two on the defensive side of the ball here and there and not really fret, because you had one of the most incredible offensive threats in high school football that could turn a game around and whether it's a possession or a big play, whatever it is, in that regard last year. You don't know if you really have that yet this year, but what's been really encouraging to see is you put up a goose egg against a really good Orono football team, a top flight team, and your defense has been solid in its first two games. That's got to really make you say, that takes a lot of pressure off the offense as we start to regroup and adjust with those guys, with these guys picking up on the things that you've thrown at them.
Yeah, it's helping that we can rely on our defense. And, last year I think our defense was decent. We just, we stubbed our toe in 3rd and long. I think that was our Achilles heel last year, is we played great first and second down football, but then 3rd down we give up the play for a first down, and it would drive our coaches bananas. So I think they learned a lot from last year. I think my big push for them is, man, let's get off the field. Let's get them in a situation where we can get field position, or short field, whatever, and let's do some things. Try to help the offense out, and not make them go 80 yards. And it's a credit to them. They've taken the reins, and they have a lot of ownership on that defense. So it's fun to watch them. It really is.
Well, and I can't wait to see what happens this upcoming Saturday, because they're going to be taking on a DeLaSalle team that's been just absolutely lighting it up like a Christmas tree. 51-13 winners to open the season against Ridgefield, and then they took Simley kind of to the woodshed there, 38-15, outscoring their opponents 89-28 so far in the season. They are seeing the defending champs in the Benilde-St. Margaret's Red Knights, but it's going to be a test for your defense, isn't it?
Yeah, speed is always a killer, and they have tons of it. So we're going to have to be great with angles. We're going to have to be great with, our scheme and understanding what they're trying to do. And it's the two schools absolutely hate each other. It's just one of those rivalries where it's, going back to Don Bosco days with DeLaSalle and Benilde. It is a rivalry from hell. It really is. And it's an exciting week, but it's also, that Friday night, and we actually play them this week on Saturday, so it's a day game, and it's a different environment during the day down in the city down there, and it's such a beautiful field and a great environment to go down the island and play them down there. I always look forward to it. It's just a blast.
Well, I am looking forward to it too, and hopefully we can capture that feel from being down on the island there. And it almost on a Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock takes on a college football feel, and especially being off of downtown Minneapolis like that, it's really special.
Yeah, it is. It's a great environment. I mean, even on Friday nights when you're down there on that field, the skyline of Minneapolis, you can see it, and it's just a neat place. They have a wonderful field. I'm completely jealous.
Wow. See, so if you're saying that, you got a great setup yourself. So it is something special, though. You are right. You are right, though.
We have a great place too, and I don't want to knock it, but it's just there's something about going down there and playing D on a Friday night, and Saturday will be great too. But I'm frustrated because we have the Gophers are playing at 2:30, and I'm going to have to check that later.
Boy, after taking Oregon State and just absolutely turning them upside down after they weren't even favored in that game, that's really going to be tougher to do, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
So good for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So final question for you. Just an overall assessment, 2 games into the season. How do you feel about where things are at, both sides of the football and as a group?
Defensively, I'm thrilled with our progress. I think we really took big steps from week 1, the Waconia game, and then you see Waconia go play Hopkins, and they did a really good job getting after them. So, we're not sure what we got yet, because offensively, I think we struggled with some things, and we'll get better because we'll work at it. And our special teams did a nice job. So I think 2 of the 3 are heading in the right direction. We just got to get our offense up to speed.
And once you do that, look out. So, all right, Coach, I know you got to get the field ready for practice here. You got plenty to do with the boys, so have at it. And looking forward to having your game on the CatholicSportsNetwork.org this upcoming Saturday.
Thanks, Pete.
You bet. That's John Hanks, of course, the head coach of the Benilde-St. Margaret's Red Knights, the 2-0 Benilde-St. Margaret's Red Knights. We'll have another podcast for you, another Coach's Corner coming up next week. I'm Pete Wagner. So long, everybody.